Hello, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to talk about conditional probability. Researcher randomly assigned 72 chronic users of cocaine into three groups: the supplement, lithium, and the placebo. Results of the study are summarized to the right. If a person took the placebo, what is the probability that they relapse? First of all, we're not trying to investigate all of the people. We're trying to investigate the people who took placebo. So first of all, people who took the placebo is this row, right? So that means we are only interested in these 24 people. And then out of these people, what we're trying to find out the probability is the proportion that they relapse, which is 20. So that means the probability that people who took placebo and they relapse is equals to 20 out of 24. Simplify it, we should got 5 out of 6. Second, given that a person had lithium, what is the probability that they did not relapse? Again, first of all, we need to know what we are trying to study. We're trying to study the people who were given lithium, which is 24 people. The number of people who took lithium out of what? The probability among those people. We don't care about people who took the deciment, even though they also not relapse, or the people who took placebo, they did not relapse. We don't care about that because we only care about people who took lithium and they did not relapse. So that means this number means the people who took lithium and they did not relapse. So that means it's 6 out of 24, which is 1/4. Okay, so this is called conditional probability. So the probability of event A occurring given that event B has already occurred, meaning that event A is going to be affected by the occurrence of event B. So the conditional probability is P A given B, this line means given, is equals to probability A and B over PB. So we can think about as a Venn diagram. If you see something look like this, you have two circles. This means the first circle means the people who's a cat person, who like cats. The second one means the people who likes dogs. And the overlap part is the person who like both cat and the dog. So if we are trying to figure out, hey, what is the probability that given the person like dog also like cats? So this part, the overlapping part, is the only part that people who like cats and dogs. So that means the probability people who like cats, given that they like dogs, is going to be the overlapping part over the probability that people who like dogs. And the overlapping part happens to be the probability that people like cats and the dogs, right, over the probability of dogs. So that's why this is the probability that people who like cats, given they like dogs, they're dog person. Okay, so if P given B equals to PA, then the event A and B are independent. Remember what is independent event? Independent event meaning that the event B occurred does not change the chance of the occurrence of event A. All right. Given that a person relapsed, what is the probability that they took placebo? Now, let's get back to our chart. Now we want to investigate that given the people relapse. So here are the people who relapse. This first column. And then out of this first column, the people that who took placebo, which is 20. So the probability should be the probability that which one is given. The given is relapse. We want to know the people who take placebo given that they relapse. Is equals to 20 out of 48 is the total number of people who take placebo and the relapse out of the total number of people who relapse, which is 20 out of 48. And then we simplify it, reduce the fraction, which is 5 out of 12. D is the treatment and whether they relapse independent. Again, if they are independent by the formula, we know that, well, if A and B independent, that means PA given B is equal to PA. So in this case, we're trying to know that if treatment and the relapse independent. So we already know the previous one. The treatment is placebo. Given that it's relapse, is equals to 5 out of 12. We just figured out earlier. And now we want to know the probability that people who took placebo. So what's the probability that people who took placebo? Now let's take a look. People who took placebo, which is in here, totally 24 people took placebo out of 72. So the probability of people who take placebo is 24 out of 72, which when we reduce it, I would get 1/3. Look, 5/12 is not equal to 1/3, which means people who take the treatment and the relapse is not equal to people who just have the treatment, the probability of the treatment. So that means this is not independent event. That's the proof. I mean, you don't have to use placebo. The reason I use placebo given is relapse because we already did the calculation before. You can also use different way to do it, such as you can try to calculate the probability of people who have that specimen and given that they're not relapse, or relapse is fine, relapse or not, and trying to see if these two is equal to probability that people who just take that specimen. That's one way to test out if this is independent, because our treatment, we have 3 treatments, right? Placebo, lithium, and despamin. Okay, that's it for today's class. Let me know if you have other questions.